Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black Female Engineer. I provide content for new and aspiring software engineers, and today is very exciting because we're talking about money. We're talking about that cash and really just going into salary and offer negotiations. So let's get to it. Actually, before I get to it, I need to just put this disclaimer out that I am not a professional mentor. I'm not, licensed anything. I am just sharing my own tips and advice from my own teachings, my own experience, and hope that you can add any of these things to your toolkit to help you out in the future. So keep that in mind. Okay, now let's get to it. So first things first. You got the job. Congratulations. That is something that's super exciting and worth celebrating no matter what. Because it's hard, y'all. Up in these streets, it's hard. So congratulations. So they gave you, they said, we are looking to hire you. We would love to give you this offer. First things first. Never, and I mean never, accept an offer over the phone. I don't care if they offer you $500,000. Do not accept an offer over the phone. Simply say thank you and, acknowledge, the time y'all have spent together interviewing and everything, and hang up that phone and wait for the official package or anything to come, or just give yourself time to think about things. Next rule. Never, ever be the first to give numbers for what you're looking for in your offer. If they ask you either before the official interviews or after you get the job, because I've been asked, even during applying or during my first interview, do not give them a straight answer. When asked, what are you looking for in terms of compensation, in terms of salary? What I say, and y'all might drag me for this, what I say is,
well, I'm looking for whatever is fair and equitable given the position, company, and location of this opportunity.
That is it. That's all I say, because no way am I going into this trap of being lowballed because I gave the wrong number. So that is what I do. Now, let's say, because some of these recruiters, man, will just keep on getting at you and everything. What if they say, okay, we understand that, but we need a number? Okay, give them a range.
I'm looking for anything between 75 and 100,000, depending on location and position.
Sorry, not sorry. Because salary isn't just the number. You need to look at so many different things to see what actually is a right salary. $75,000 in Nebraska is way different than $75,000 in New York. Heck, $75,000 in Nebraska is way different than $100,000 in New York. In terms of, actual cash you'll get to see, Nebraska is still better. In terms of, what you'll take home and, the cost of living and all of this. So you need to do your research. You need to see where is this position located and what is the average salary, the average compensation for somebody in my position or in the position that I'm applying to, interviewing for in this location. That way, when an interviewer asks you what you're looking for, you give them, oh, well, given the ranges I have seen through research, this range to this range is where I'd be looking to start off negotiations. That is how you start off that process. Now, if we talk about what resources there are available for that research, Glassdoor, I use Glassdoor like it's running out of style. I use Glassdoor for everything. And I have found it to be very reliable, but if you're looking for something a lot more concrete, one great resource is levels.fyi. I'll link those two below along with some more. But levels.fyi is great because they go through a very robust confirmation process in making sure that what you're reporting is your salary for this one company or this one location is correct and accurate, and you're not lying, you're not, doing anything wild. So you can really trust those numbers. So I highly recommend those resources. Again, I'll link them below, but make sure you do that research so that they know you can't just be hoodwinked and swindled when you know that this company paid their last 10 engineers $200,000. Meanwhile, they're offering you $64,000. Like, no. So going into negotiations. So first, make sure this is face to face, or, because of this panda bear, make sure it is screen to screen, because it's a lot easier to have true, genuine, and honest conversations that way. And by doing that, you can look out for nonverbal cues. You can look out for, if they are, looking some type of way, if they're, hesitating or anything. You can see that a lot better by, webcam. I feel old saying that. I think that's the right term. By Zoom and all of those types of meetings. Do not do email, and if you can stay away from it, don't do phone calls. Seriously, do a face-to-face, screen-to-screen conversation. So they say, we are so excited to offer you this position. Here is the salary we would have you for. So you see the salary. You'll see different advice on this. I personally have never negotiated right there and then. After seeing the salary, I've never just said, hold up, I want X, Y, and Z. I've never done that. Instead, I've been like, okay, thank you. I just need, give me one day and I'll get back to you. Then in that day, I am talking to everybody and their mama, trying to make sure I get a whole picture of this company, a whole picture of their previous, salary history, and, things like the previous research I talked about. Bonus points if you can find somebody who has worked at that company or has worked in your position to give you their numbers as to what they get paid. This just provides some insight into what's realistic and what's not. This is something I personally very much encourage, especially amongst, us women and us people of color. That is something I very much encourage. And so try to seek someone out to just give you, who also, works at the position. It doesn't have to be the same company, but who also works in the same type of position you are looking to work in, or you just got your offer for. Try to see what their numbers are. Don't pressure them to tell you, but if they are willing, then that would be great. But this one day passes and you say, thank you, Amanda, for this offer. I'd love to talk more in detail about it face to face. Here's my availability, and schedule a meeting. So now you're in this meeting, and now it is time for you to bring forth, like a lawyer, bring forth the discovery of these last few, hours and days. Bring up the research you found. So saying, you offered me, let's work with a number. It's easier to work with a number. Let's say 85,000.
You offered me 85,000. However, through my research, I saw that the average salary range is between 85,000 and 95,000. I would like to see that number go up to that 95,000 number.
And just a side note, if you are applying to a job or just got hired for a job that is in a different location than you are now, than you currently live in, use a calculator to see what the pay conversion is. So basically, let's say I got, a job for Los Angeles and it's for $80,000. I currently, let's say, live in Nebraska, and I know what my rent looks like, and I use this calculator to see that in what was the number I said? Was it 75,000? Let's say it was 75,000. I use the calculator to see that a $75,000 salary in California is equivalent to a $42,000 salary in Nebraska. Let's say that's what it converts to. I don't know if that's what it converts to, but let's say that's what it converts to. Now ask yourself, would you accept a $42,000 salary in Nebraska? Would you? If you would, then you're in a good spot. But would you? And think about the type of life you would have with a $42,000 salary in Nebraska. And now think about that with California. That is the same type of life you would have in terms of, food and going out and rent and, your flexibility or inflexibility. So make sure you use this conversion and make sure you bring this up in your salary negotiation if this applies to you. Say, look, this is where I live, this is what you're offering me, and the conversion doesn't sit right with me. I want X amount of money to make sure I sustain the life I'm currently living. Now, let's say they're first like, nah, son, nope, you aren't qualified enough for this type of pay or, for this pay enhancement. Well, y'all, remember this. Don't ever let a company tell you that you are not worth X amount of money. They hired you. Did they not? They, obviously saw your qualifications and saw that you were the right fit. Even if, let's say their job description at first said they want somebody with 4 years of experience and you only have 2.5 or 3 years of experience. And that's what they use to say, oh, that's why we can't pay you X amount. But you still hired me. So you're obviously, knowing that I am qualified and I am the person for the job because I did these type of projects, I put on these types of initiatives, and in my 2.5 years, I've done these to the programs, and that is equivalent to what you would have wanted to see someone with 4 years anyway. So remind them that. Be swift and smooth to remind them that. But yes, the next is making sure you present your credentials and saying why you are worth it. Why you are worth it in terms of technical skill, in terms of leadership experience, and also in terms of culture and what you're hoping to see yourself, how you're hoping to see yourself grow within this company. So let's say you did all of this and they're like, sorry, like what we offered you is our best offer. This may not be a lie. Sometimes companies really do give their best offer. So don't think you're being, swindled or hoodwinked or anything. But there are other things to negotiate other than just cash. You can negotiate vacation days, flex time. You can negotiate education assistance along with stock. You can negotiate also the location. If you apply to a company that gave a bunch of location ranges, you can negotiate the location you want to be in, and you can negotiate the team you want to work with or the technologies you want to work with. If they just said, full stack developer or something, you can say, I want to specifically work in the front end team, with React, with the back end. You can negotiate all of these different things. And when you rack them up, they can end up being worth the same or more than the cash itself. So make sure you remember that. So look at, okay, what is something that I would value most of this list of things? What is something I would value most? Would I value vacation days? Would I value work from home days? The flexibility to work from home, especially if you're getting this position, during a panda bear, you can say when it is back to working in the office, I would still like the chance to work 50% from home. You can negotiate all of these things, and that could give you better luck in this whole offer negotiation situation. Another thing that I just forgot to mention, you can also negotiate a sign-on bonus. So you can't get, let's say you can't get that extra 5,000, 10,000 in your salary, but let's say you can get that 5,000 in a one-time bonus. Negotiate that as well. Or if they already gave you it, ask for more. So just remember there are other things you can negotiate. But at the end of it all, if you don't feel good about this offer, you can also negotiate the expiry of the offer. So let's say they say you have 1 week to accept or decline. Ask for 3 weeks. If you know that you have certain interviews coming up, or you apply to a job that you're excited about and are hoping to hear back from them soon, you can ask for 3 more weeks. If they ask for why you need 3 more weeks, be forthcoming. Be forthcoming but vague. Something I like to say is,
well, in 3 weeks, that's when I will have the necessary information for me to accept or deny this offer with confidence.
And usually, most of the time, they give you some type of extension, maybe not the full 3 weeks, or the full time that you asked for, that they most of the time are willing to work with you. Then, y'all, don't be afraid to then, after, let's say they gave you 10 days instead of 3 weeks, at the end of those 10 days, ask for another 10 days. Because here's the thing, you have the upper hand in this. Companies spend so much money when it comes to recruitment that when they finally have somebody that they want to hire, they're not going to just, that's something people are afraid of, that the company is just going to be like, you know what, never mind, and we don't want to hire you anymore, and that is not something that you shouldn't be afraid of. And honestly, if a company does do that, then you know that they were going to drop you in the drop of a hat anyway. You did not have job security anyway, because if asking questions and asking for flexibility makes them take away your offer, oh nah, goodbye. So just keep asking, and so ask for extensions so you can make sure that you're making the best possible decision for you. And at the end of the day, if you know that you would feel bad about yourself or feel sick at the idea of walking into this office every day being paid what you end up being paid, then that is not a company you should accept. That is not an offer you should accept. Now, of course, people have different circumstances in which they have to accept certain things, but if you have the flexibility not to, give yourself, say, you know what, thank you for this experience, thank you for the interviews, I enjoyed meeting you, but I have to sadly or unfortunately decline. And just bet on yourself, y'all. That is something that I say all the time to people close to me, and I'm saying to y'all, bet on yourself. Don't think that this is the only job that's going to come around. A company will come that sees your value and can match what you see as your value and then some. So make sure that you, at the end of the day, are doing the best thing for you, but also for your peace of mind. But there we go, everybody. My tips for offer negotiation. And if you like this video or like any of the tips I shared, please click that subscribe button and click that like button. And I look forward to seeing y'all soon. But bye, y'all.